In the 10 weeks since our Mitsubishi Lancer was stolen, we have made some insane progress on our rear wheel drive swap on this thing. It's been a pretty crazy journey so far. We have our beautiful S13 CA18 DET motor in the engine bay. We've given it a full refresh. We have our complete MX-5 rear end in the car. We've got a custom gearbox tunnel inside the car, and this thing is really coming together. But now it's all about buttoning things up and getting this thing ready, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, to start for the first time. Today we're going to be doing some interior stuff on the car. But before we do, I want to show you guys something amazing that turned up on my front doorstep today. When you work super hard on something and pour everything you have into it, like I have on my YouTube channel, and things like this happen to you, it is definitely something special. And today I had a bunch of SP tools turn up on my doorstep. Look at this. I still actually can't believe that this has happened, to be honest, but SP Tools has come on board with the YouTube channel. These guys are so freaking cool. Someone like me, I haven't had brand new tools for a very long time now. So for all this stuff to turn up to the workshop is just, I'm absolutely mind blown. But of course, you guys don't know what we've actually got here because this is a bunch of boxes. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna do a little bit of an unboxing on the channel. Starting with our toolkit assembly guide. I'm gonna do my best to follow the instructions to a T. It's a very official looking envelope that we get here, but this is what we have. SP50175X is what we got, which is a big, amazing tool cabinet. And of course I had to hit them up and get myself a new impact wrench slash rattle gun because these things are obviously so important. But let's go ahead, unbox everything and throw it all together. That is a lot of tools, and that has to go in here. Luckily, we have YouTube magic, so let's get it done. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Holy crap. Suss this out. Woo! I honestly have not been this excited since pretty much last Christmas. Tools are so insanely important, and this is like absolutely unreal to me. Even just having like the foam pad so everything can go back in its place. Absolutely ridiculous, man. I got a lot of free space to fill up as well, so I'm gonna have to buy some more tools, but like, I can't get over it. It's crazy. Huge thank you to SP Tools for having the faith in me. It's just an unreal feeling, to be honest. But I'll keep you guys updated on what I'm thinking as I start to use them while we progress through this beautiful build. Speaking of, it's time to get cracking into this thing. So a couple of updates that I have done off camera. First things first. So the steering column that we were doing last episode, I've now finalized the cover that goes on it and tidies everything up. I installed riv nuts on the firewall and bolted it up all super nice. So we just need to paint it now, and that is that finalized, which is pretty darn awesome. Another thing that we did is this front bumper was annoying me. If you remember, this part was locked in here. That was one part of the bumper that I did not like. But look, ready? Ooh, so much better. Absolutely awesome. It's still hard to imagine how it's all gonna look because obviously we need to like mold this part in and stuff. It's just sitting there at the moment. But once the bumper's all done, it's gonna look super good. I think just that flat part in the middle just really kind of took some of the aggression away because it was a little bit over the top for me. Now I'm feeling it. But today what we're going to be doing is installing a hydraulic handbrake into our rear-wheel drive Lancer, which is pretty exciting really. So this car is not going to be a complete dedicated drift car. However, it will be drifted at times. And in a drift car, you need a handbrake. Thanks to our good friends at GK Tech, we have a nice GK Tech inline handbrake that we're going to be installing in the car. This is not in any way sponsored. I paid full price for this stuff, but regardless, they do amazing stuff, and I really do like the GK Tech handbrakes. So it comes like this. We've got our master cylinder here. It is an inline handbrake setup, the handle here, the base here, and we've got our beautiful brake lines all made up. So when we were building the E36 drift car, I learned how valuable it was to have the brake lines already made up to install in the car. In this car, we have the Chase Bays hydraulic handbrake setup with all the beautiful pre-made lines, and it blew my mind how easy it made the install with all that stuff, so I couldn't resist getting the GK Tech stuff. Now, I kind of fluked it a little bit in the fact that this GK Tech stuff is all made for a Nissan Silvia or Skyline, but it all looks like it's going to fit beautifully in our car. So first things first, we have to work out the positioning of the handbrake, and to do that, I'm gonna put our dash back into the car because I don't want to make the mistake of mounting a handbrake in the car and then putting the dash in and finding out that the handbrake fails on the dash in some kind of way. So let's go ahead and throw the dash into our interior, which is quite exciting because it's like the first interior piece we're putting back after building our custom gearbox tunnel. Let's go. It's so freaking cool putting the dash back into the car, and it gives me the extra dose of motivation that I need to finish this build. Next up, we're assembling our GK Tech handbrake so we can go ahead and do a test fit, as we need to find the perfect place for it to live. Of course, you've got to give it a tug once it's assembled. So here is our hydraulic handbrake. Man, these things are so cool. One thing I didn't even realize was they're a pull handbrake. So like you pull it, it mounts like that, and like it's reverse, as opposed to like usually they're like that and you pull it that way. And that means you can hide it like more under the dash, just to keep them a little bit more stealth, which is actually kind of the look we're going for as well. But just a really nice unit, so highly recommend them. I really like the style of the handle as well. So to figure out the position of the handbrake, we actually need the steering wheel in place so that we know exactly where we want things to be. Our steering wheel is currently hanging up from the last time that we took it off the car. Oof, look at this. Genuine Momo steering wheel, of course, for this car. We've got our steering wheel on the car. This actually ties in quite nicely because our friends are here from Rush Street. Hello. Which means I have to move my car off the hoist. And so we're gonna put the tie rod ends in the car and have it actually steering for the first time, which is pretty cool. So what we're gonna do, we'll lift the car up the front and we're gonna center out the rack and install our brand new ball joints as well. These are brand new, these are not because they didn't show up in time. So I borrowed 2 of these off our friend Matt Walker over here. They'll do for now. I'm really excited to have this thing turning with the S13 front in it. It's gonna be so freaking good. So let's go ahead and do that right now. For the first time, we have all of our suspension set up actually like fully done up. So my friend Nathan is going to turn the wheel for the first time and make sure the steering actually works. He's currently cleaning my SP tools and putting them back nicely. Now that we have nice tools, we're actually taking care of them. All right, turn the wheel for us. We've got a lot of tow out at the moment. Ooh, look at that. So this wheel should have big lock all the way around, and then the other wheel, go full lock that way. Yes, that's full lock on that side because of the amount of tow out that we have, and that's full lock on that side. It's simply because we don't have the proper extended inner tie rods at the moment. We need Maxima ones. They didn't show up in time, so I've just put S13 ones in at the moment to get it steering. But we're going to put it on the ground, and we need to move this out the way so that we can put Matt's car on the hoist, and we're going to continue our hydraulic handbrake install. It's a day full of cars, but I don't mind. I like having people around. It's good vibes. That's what this thing's gonna look like when it's on lock. Look at that, big lock. All right, it's time to move the car. It's gonna go outside for the first time. One Matthew power.
Sorry, I didn't see you there.
Didn't see you there, son.
He's got like 4 yeah, you're not really gonna
Yes! It's steering under its own. Look at it, it's like literally sliding forward. And that's straight there. That'll do. It looks good outside. Seeing this thing outside for the first time is super freaking exciting. The rear, you guys are gonna have your mind changed on the rear bumper of this car, because I know it was like a whole bunch of you were like, keep the old one. We're not keeping the old one. We're putting the new one on and we're gonna keep the new one, but I will convince you by the end of this series that this is the right decision to make. I hope. Either that or I'll eat my words massively, but. All right, we're back in the car getting the position of our handbrake nice and tight. So I like to have my handbrake literally perfectly in between the shifter. So make sure this is in 5th gear so that we're not going to hit it, obviously. And the steering wheel, so it's super easy. Nice and easy to pull when you're mid-drift and Matt slows up behind you and you have to check up and with the handbrake.
Yeah, when you don't have a clutch.
Toast! That's all going on in here at the moment. Everyone's getting ready for round 3 battle royale, so we can all door each other and probably get knocked out in the top 32. Awesome, I'm so excited. This is starting to look like so good. We're marking this bad boy out on our tunnel. Just like that, and now we can go ahead and make a plate to bolt her up. So good. Installing a hydraulic handbrake in your car is one of the most exciting mods you can do. There's just something about being able to lock up the rear wheels with a simple tug of a handle that really makes my happy parts tingle. Once we've fabbed up our plate, it's time to weld it into the car. I drilled a few holes in the tunnel to give us clearance for our bolts. Finally, we install the handbrake and we're all done. handbrake is in. Look at this. So good. These GK-Tech handbrakes are actually really nice. So I'm pumped on that. It's in the perfect position. Jason said that it might hit the steering wheel. Get out of here, Jason. What are you on about? It's perfect. Lovely that. We can still put it in 5th gear without smashing the hydraulic handbrake, just. So now we need to go ahead and put the lines. in the car. GK-Tech lines. Hopefully, if it all goes to plan, these literally are plug and play with our Mitsubishi Lancer brake master cylinder. Let's go. The GK-Tech brake lines come nicely labelled, so you can't really muck up the install. We feed the line through the firewall and bolt the line to our brake master cylinder. We'll put a rubber grommet in the firewall later to protect the brake line. In the car, we bolt the lines to the handbrake master cylinder. I actually got these the wrong way around the first time, probably not enough coffee. So at the moment we are just dummy fitting everything. Obviously, I kind of need to take it back out, do a couple of things, make sure everything's all good before we fully do everything up for the last time, put brake fluid in and all that stuff. So this kit for the most part has fit our car. This front line here is a little too long, but what you just do is loop it up under the dash and then everything gets held in via P-clips. So you get a bunch of P-clips, they go around the line and you have them super tidy held up against the gearbox tunnel. Unfortunately, this line that goes to the back, which would go to our MX-5 rear end, and it would literally, this is actually the perfect fitting, and it would screw into our junction, and that would be our rear brakes literally done, which would be so nice, but this line is a little too short. So I'm gonna get the exact line made up, but with just about a ½ meter more length made on it, and then that'll be our rear brakes done, completed, and our handbrake installed, which is absolutely amazing because that is another thing ticked off the list with this car. I know this video is a little bit all over the place. I've currently got Nathan from Burnouts Unlimited here. We're doing a bunch of developing parts for the BMW E36 chassis, and we've been test fitting a bunch of parts and stuff today as well, so I'm kind of between that and obviously doing the Fivo. Nonetheless, I think we're doing absolutely awesome with the Fivo. It's coming a long way. Hopefully, I'm thinking next video we may be able to kind of do something towards starting the car. Don't quote me on that. There's quite a bit of work left to do. Also, when you are doing handbrake installs, the most annoying thing ever is when your handbrake is shifting like side to side, so make sure you do a really solid mount so that when you give that handbrake a good tug, there's no movement, it locks up the rears, and also positioning is like super important. Don't know if I mentioned that before. How good is that? I'm freaking stoked. I had a good look at the center console and stuff within the car and how we're gonna run everything. I'm gonna have to get brand new carpet and kind of figure out how we're gonna run it over the gearbox tunnel, so that's gonna be really interesting. It's gonna be pretty sick once this whole thing comes together. I just wanna say a huge thank you to SP Tools for coming on board once again. Those guys are so cool. If you guys do need tools, definitely hit up SP. Support the channel by supporting the people that support the channel, if that makes sense. But that is where we're gonna wrap up that video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you're having an amazing Sunday evening and you had a great weekend. Thanks to Jason, thanks to Nathan for coming out and giving me a hand as well. I wouldn't have got this done without them. But thank you to you guys. Hit that like button and subscribe if you feel like it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. We have a hydraulic handbrake in our Fivo, and it's pretty goddamn cool. Peace. Bye.